I'm Tom Blyth and I play Coriolanus Snow.
And I'm Rachel Zegler and I play Lucy Gray Baird.
My name is Josh Andres Rivera and I'm playing Sejanus Plinth.
And I'm Hunter Schafer and I play Tigers Snow. We sort of got to rebuild some of the initial world building ideas because it is a 65-year gap and it's before the sort of tyranny that Snow brings into the capital and into this kind of new level. So there was a fair amount of reimagining, which I think gave us a bit of a clean slate to figure out our characters for ourselves.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Something I said before was it's we already have these established rules for the world, but the actual world itself, we had the privilege of kind of making it our own a bit.
I was a huge fan of the books. I had the Mockingjay pin and did Halloween costumes and stuff, so it was a big part of my youth. So it feels really full circle and sort of cosmic to be here.
You were a big book fan,
Yeah,
right?
I read the books. I was at the midnight release at bookstores
That's so cute.
to get Mockingjay, I think, and I was obsessed with the books,
Yeah.
and so were my mother and my sister. So when this book came out, we had one copy in the house because of the pandemic. My sister read it, and then she gave it to my mom, and then she gave it to me, and I became so obsessed. But yeah, I was obsessed with the whole franchise.
I have a fun little story about how one time I got sent to go to study hall because my grades were kind of bad. And we had a really good librarian who gave me the first Hunger Games book to try to get me to just be psyched about reading. And it worked. I mean, it was the first book I ever read that I couldn't put down. I absolutely loved it. I went and saw the movie in theaters when it came out with my mom. But it really, it was a big part.
I was a huge fan of the films growing up when I was a teenager, and would always go and see them the first weekend they came out. And then I'm fairly new to the books since this script, since doing this film. So I've obviously read this book and I'm now going back and reading the others. Yeah. He's sympathetic because I think you can relate to him when he's 18. He's an 18-year-old with a cousin and a grandmother who he's trying to protect, and he's trying to protect their reputation while also trying to succeed in the way that everybody tells him he's supposed to succeed. And then you get to see him questioning his society and what it does to people when he meets someone who he falls in love with and is trying to protect her. And so he's a very protective young man who then, without spoiling anything for audiences, then kind of gets everything questioned and ends up having to kind of question his own morality because he has to do some things to protect the ones he loves. And I think it breaks him. I think it breaks his soul. And I think over the course of the film, you get kind of heartbroken watching him become cold inside. For me, it's a fascinating psychological study of a character.